Good afternoon, buenas tardes. I picked a topic today that is kind of sad, um, and it also annoyed me, and it had to do with the training exercise of the four Army personnel that died in Lithuania. And I'm going to mention their name. And the reason I'm going to mention their name is because um, in my last video, I talked about Reefs Across America, and there's a ceremony that they do that when they lay the reef on, usually the ceremony takes place in December. When they lay the wreath on the tombstone to honor those veterans that are resting in peace, they mention the name of the person on that tombstone. And the reason they do that because they go by the philosophy that a person never really dies until the day that somebody stops mentioning their name. So bearing that in mind, I want to mention PSC Dante D. Tatiano. I hope I said that correctly. Staff Sergeant Evan F. Franco, Staff Sergeant Jose Dunez, and Staff Sergeant Troy Knudsen Collin. May you rest in peace, brothers. And unfortunately, thank you for your sacrifice. I don't like to put political things in my group and not even religious things because I don't like conflict. I don't like people arguing with each other in the group because I designed my Hispanic group and Puerto Rican group on Facebook for the purpose to talk about military things. I let a lot of posts slide sometimes. I let music slide. I sometimes I do let topics that are political but have some sort of military subject tied to it, and sometimes I let those things slide. But it kind of annoys me. And I have done it myself. I don't like to post political things or religious things, even though I am a believer, for the simple reason that sometimes it causes conflict and people, instead of discussing things, they argue and some even get disrespectful, which has happened to me. When I post something that's controversial, instead of discussing it and being intelligent about it, they want to be disrespectful. But that's the reason I stay away from that. But there are certain things that are happening now that I have to address. I had a video last week. I talked about DEI that had to do with the Arlington National Cemetery, where they took out certain links directed towards, I'll say it right out, people of color, Latino, African Americans, and even women, okay? So let's put that aside. I'm annoyed because these soldiers are going home to their families, and there's a tradition that is called dignified. It's called the dignified transfer. A dignified transfer. In other words, they transfer the bodies of these military personnel from one nation to another, and it's supposed to be a dignified occasion. And a lot of times the commander-in-chief, in this case, President Trump, or past presidents, have been present when this has happened. But this guy decides that now he'd rather play golf to an event that has to do with some sort of fundraiser for Saudi Arabia. And I didn't even bother to research what was this fundraiser about because I really don't care. And believe me, the Saudis don't need no money. So I really don't know if the money's going to Saudi Arabia. If anybody really knows, they could correct me in the comments, or it has to do to the benefit of the American people or the benefit of Donald Trump. I don't know, and I don't care. The point is that he has done this in the past, even in his last presidency, where he refuses to attend dignified ceremonies like this. And the man is spending millions of dollars of our tax dollars playing golf. Okay? And I don't know if that upsets you, but it upsets me. It upsets me because I know what it is to serve with my brothers and sisters and to be in a situation that you can actually lose your life. I'm a Vietnam vet, and there have been plenty of times that I almost got killed. And in my 20 years of military service, especially in the infantry, and me being a paratroop, but there have been plenty of times that I have been hurt or I almost got killed. And this happens in all services. When you train for combat, sometimes they try to make it as realistic as possible. And things happen, mistakes happen, people get hurt, people die. It's just an occurrence that happens all the time. Um, so, we know about that incident that happened where the Army helicopter crashed into that jet airliner. Um, and we know the story behind that. So these things happen all the time. So when the president decides to play golf, instead of being there to honor somebody that's coming home, their families are grieving, they're out there protecting our freedoms and died in a training accident. And even if they died in combat, I mean, as commander in chief, you would think that you would be there to honor them, not decide that golf is more important to you. And I'm sorry for my rant, folks. You may think that, oh man, Jimmy, you're getting a little emotional. Nah, it's not. It's okay to be emotional. You know, a lot of times I say I'm just passionate. I'm passionate in my beliefs, and I would like to leave that up to discussion here. If you guys would just comment and decide, does this annoy you or it doesn't bother you? Um, so that's why I decided to do my little rant today. And I don't like to come here and rant and be upset or be annoyed. That's not my purpose to try to do a video. It's not my purpose when I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. It's not my purpose when I'm trying to do a post on my group or in my own personal Facebook. I don't want to annoy nobody. That's not the reason why I did this video or I post a subject that's controversial. No, but I leave it up to discussion. Does this annoy you or it doesn't bother you? And if it doesn't bother you, then there's a problem right there. No, it's okay. He's the president. If he wants to play golf, let him play golf. Really? The guy play golf all the time. So I want to know your opinion on this, and I hope that I made my point clear. I'm pissed. Okay, I'm pissed. Um, I didn't like it, and I think that most veterans are going to feel the same way as I, um, and some will disagree. You can't please everybody. There's no such thing as everybody agreeing. I mean, we all know that. So, anyway, that's my little rant for today, and I hope to talk about happier subjects in the future. So, take care, everybody, and share this if you like. Please support the channel, like and subscribe, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.